Okay, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to Oreca Talks at Oreca Kuwait 2025. We are delighted to be joined by some outstanding industry experts for a discussion on what are the food and beverage innovations shaping Kuwait. It is co-organized by Leaders Group for Consulting and Development, Odema Consulting Services, and Hospitality Middle East, sponsored by Holiday Inn Hotel. It is my pleasure to hand over to Naji Morous, founder and managing partner of Odema Consulting Services, who will be moderating this session. So, Naji, over to you. But before that, give me as well just a few minutes to introduce your panelists. So I'll be starting with Mr. Rakan Al-Fadal, CEO of Forevermore, an award-winning entrepreneur. Rakan holds a bachelor's in computer sciences from GUST, an MBA from IE Business School, and completed executive programs at Harvard Business School, Standard GSB in SEAD. He was elected president of the Students' Union of GUST and worked as consulting mentor for Google Startup Grind. Welcome, Rakan. Osama Al-Shair, Regional General Manager of FoodX. Osama Al-Shair is a seasoned business leader with over a decade of experience in logistics, sales, and customer service across global corporations and startups. He started his career at Aramex, gaining expertise in operations and sales before helping build POS Rocket in Kuwait. Now at FoodX, Osama leads operations, driving growth and innovation in the F&B tech industry. Welcome, Osama. Isa Bahbahani, chairman of Prepline. Isa Bahbahani, a renowned F&B entrepreneur, founded Prepline in 2017. The company operates numerous brands across GCC, Europe, and the UK. With over 15 years of experience, he specializes in scaling businesses, investing in emerging restaurateurs, and offering consulting services to optimize operations, expand markets, and drive rapid growth in the food service industry. Welcome, Isa. Marco Fioro, executive chef and managing partner of Vigonovo Catering Company, founder of Vigonovo, Gilia, and Marcus Burger restaurants. In 2016, Marco followed his passion for food by opening Vigonovo, his first restaurant in Kuwait. He later introduced Gilia restaurant and the gourmet burger venture. His journey now extends globally with plans for a Sicilian retreat and exciting new projects blending tradition and innovation. Thank you for being with us, Marco. Ashish Tulsian, co-founder and CEO of RestroWorks. A technologist and entrepreneur, Ashish leads product innovation and growth at RestroWorks, a leading cloud-first restaurant technology platform, powering more than 20,000 restaurants in 52 countries. An active angel investor, Ashish has backed over 40 startups across the Middle East, India, and the US. He is a renowned mentor and speaker in global forums of restaurant technology and startups. So it's my pleasure now to hand over to Naji.
Thank you.
Enjoy your talk.
Thank you, Nada. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to try to understand what is today the situation of the food and beverage in Kuwait. Is Kuwait still the hub? It was the F&B hub that we always thought it was. Is it a saturated market? We're going to discuss that. What is missing as trends? And also, we will the second part will be about, of course, food tech and the future of dine-in. Is the future of dine-in dead? And today you are representing, all of you, a lot of application aggregators, programs, etc. So who would like to start? Is Kuwait still a food and beverage hub today in 2025? Rakan, Isa.
Thank you, Naji, for the introduction. I think, I believe the hub in general is within the Gulf region. I think each country in the Gulf is immersing and being let me say that the F&B is not about restaurants or a dine-in. The F&B, it's about F&B segments. So today when we talk about anything, we have to understand what are the segments of F&B. There is the fast casual segment, the casual segment, the upper casual segment, and of course we'll have the segment of the cafe, which has ice cream, specialty coffee, and bakeries. When we ask any question in terms of are we still the hub, it depends on which segment you are talking about. So each segment, each of any country within the Gulf region is amazing in a certain segment. In Kuwait now, we control technically two different segments, the fast casual segment and the casual segment. That's it.
When you say we control, what do you mean?
I mean control by being the hub, by being a benchmark.
So Kuwait today, for you,
is the benchmark.
Still
it's
the
not
benchmark?
the hub, in my opinion. It's the benchmark of a fast casual in the world, and it's a benchmark of a casual in the world. We have created two new segments, which is technically the premium fast casual and the premium casual dining. In these two, we are the benchmark in the world. Anything else, we are just as any normal country. So we are the hub, yes. We are the benchmark for two segments only. This is what do I think.
The others, Rakan, Osama, Marco? Sorry, Rakan.
I think he's absolutely right.
Good intervention.
He was very complete. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Rakan?
So there's not much to add, right? Like, is Kuwait the food hub or controlling the food hub?
It's still a food hub. Is it still a food hub?
It is still a food hub, yes.
It is.
Thank you for having us. في البداية أعتقد أن الكويت is still the food capital of the region, and I believe it will grow in that field. Since in the region we have a sport city like Qatar, Doha, we have the shopping destination like shopping festivals in Dubai. Now the tourism is growing in Saudi Arabia or Oman. So I believe Kuwait can complement that scene by being the food capital of the region, especially in creating new food concepts like the brands that are started locally. Talking about the innovation in that sector, I believe Kuwait in a leadership position to concrete the idea of Isa. Kuwait in a leadership position in that premium casual, fast casual, let's say, cuisines and categories of food businesses. And we are followers in the fine dine. Isa is now leading that innovation along with Gastronomica and some other businesses. So I believe so many brands that started from Kuwait, right now they are doing good in the region. And by saying Kuwait can be the food capital, I believe 1 hour in flight between Kuwait, Dubai, Qatar, Riyadh, many people can come to Kuwait. And we noticed that last Gulf Cup tournament in Kuwait 2 weeks ago, so many GCC citizens came to Kuwait to taste their food. I believe some of the businesses, they have some decline in their sales, except the food and beverage. I believe it's an exceptional December that happened last year. Based on that fact, I believe Kuwait can be the food capital. It is requiring, like, let's say, a few steps from the government sector, from the private sector, from the entrepreneurs or the founders themselves, and we will be the destination in the future. So will it be? Yeah, it depends on the efforts that will be put in that field.
Ashish, do you agree?
Well, my understanding of Kuwait, I will take a step back here, but I can definitely draw parallels in the region. I think how I look at Kuwait market is it's the cradle for some of the top brands to prosper in the region. So when I look at it, Middle East market from US and India, for me, Kuwait is actually the cradle, in which all the brands that are prospering in the region were born. So it definitely tells me that this is the market where, brands enter from or enter with. UAE and Saudi are prospering, they're growing. A lot of brands are now entering from there as well. But I think, Kuwaiti companies still lead the pack when it comes to F&B. So, my vote is still, to Kuwait.
What makes Kuwait the hub that it started before the others? They were open, the buying power was higher maybe. What makes it this hub? What makes it this capital?
I think what makes Kuwait different is, see, I put the business into, you are either an investor or a developer or a manager or a craftsman. What's good about Kuwait, because we are really good developers. So when you talk about segment, we thrive in development, but we are not good in investment and management still. If you want to focus in terms of each country of how it is. Because Naji, at the end of the day, you cannot just see the one country and look at it as more of the center of the attention. We need to understand where is our spot within the region. This would have been, for example, the question if we're going to talk only about Kuwait, if it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But now, no, it has to be with more of a region. So we are very good developers, that's why. So when you talk about investment, yes, we have investment, but we don't have scalability. Yes, we are really good in development, but we are not good in managing scalability. So when you talk about in terms of each person or each developer in Kuwait came into the development mindset from 2005 up to 2020. This is where we thrived, especially from 2013 to 2016, which was the huge movement was made. Yes, there is a history because of us traveling, connecting with other countries, connecting in terms of education, education from the outside, education from a totally different understanding, totally different culture, totally different behavior. But to answer your questions, we are really good in development. We are the best technically in the development within the region. This is what made us very different.
If you don't mind me to add, I believe that in Kuwait, Kuwaitis are very creative, are very talented to create concepts. Like people are very, every other day there is a beautiful concept that's born. While, for example, in Dubai, just lately, I noticed some mini concepts, some young guys that have a good idea that it's just lately. Before in Dubai, you count just big brands, big names. While in Kuwait, big names, franchising, like
The local brands. The
yeah.
big names are the local.
Yes, in Kuwait, as you say, exactly, the big name are the local brands, where this is not common everywhere else in the world.
Even economically, you cannot judge any economics in terms of every sector unless it's a local investment. Otherwise, you cannot. No, it has to be a chain of a local investment. What's an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is not someone from the local market opening a shop. No, entrepreneur is someone who's creating an economic cycle through hiring Kuwaitis, through hiring local to support. So this is where the effect is. So as you said, Dubai, the first homegrown business was in 2018.
So, because there is a contradiction also, Rakan, you said it's the capital of the food and beverage, but it is still a closed country. I mean, to get a visa, to enter the country, that's not easy. I'm Italian myself. I waited 45 minutes at the airport to get my visa. It's still a difficult country to get in. So yeah. So you are saying local brands, homegrown brands. This is what is working. You are saying the mid segment, casual market.
And to support what you said in terms of industry, at the end, what is the F&B? F&B is under the industry of tourism.
Yeah.
It doesn't come as industry by itself. So when you go to Saudi Arabia, it's industrial. When you go to Dubai, it's tourism. When you go to Qatar, it's sports. The portion in terms of every country, in terms of when they focus on what do they have, F&B comes 10% under the tourism umbrella. So you cannot thrive in the F&B if you are not a tourism country. So it is within the segment of tourism investment.
I think we have different dimensions to see that aspect. First of all, Kuwait used to be the historical business hub in the region, in which all the rice, sugar, salt, and the raw materials come from India, East Asia, to the region, to the Middle East, through Kuwait. So I believe the background with the culture itself made Kuwait maybe a hub for entrepreneurs to start within this industry, so the food and beverage and technology with the food and beverage. So I believe the culture. Another aspect is the multinational experiences that locals here at Kuwait are exposed to. We used to travel, we used to discover. We love to have the list of the restaurants in any single city that we travel to. So by being exposed to such big number of restaurants, cafes, and hospitality experiences, we love to bring these type of experiences in Kuwait. So it motivates our creativity and innovations in creating new concepts instead of investing a lot in bringing franchises. So it used to be a franchise, let's say, game before, and still.
Well, with the US franchises, McDonald's, Burger King.
Yes, it is still there, the opportunities. But I believe that those who want different type of income, they can start up their own business by creating their own brand. Now, talking about the other element, the political one, in which how we be an open country, I believe the experience of hosting the Gulf Cup tournament, the football, opened the eyes of the politicians here in Kuwait. And right now they are preparing more than 40 or 50 tournaments to host in Kuwait. By doing these type of things, I believe the climate of business and trading will be totally different in the future. So it is gradually will change for sure, inshallah. I believe it is coming by having the government and the parliament listening to these type of talks. I believe the development is coming.
Great. So today, let's understand, if maybe you have investors in the audience, what is missing in Kuwait? What is you came back from Italy, and you went to Kuwait, and you opened 2 Italian restaurants. What is missing in Kuwait? What is not working in Kuwait? What are the trends that we don't see?
When I first started 10 years back, they were missing Italian restaurants. Like back then,
we had Ricardo in Sheraton.
Yes, there was just Ricardo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it missed a concept like the one I started of a home Italian kitchen with the Italian chef that cooks and serves you at the table. Back then, that was missed. Now, if we're talking about cuisine missing Kuwait now, maybe I don't know, some South American probably, or some chef table, some experience like I just had last week in Dubai, like a 12 chair in front of the chef.
Tomorrow we have a panel with 5 chefs, Chef Hanouf and Chef Khalid Al-Bakr and Chef Saman Hilal, and we have like 4 or 5 chefs, and we're going to discuss that also.
Yeah, that's something could be missed. But other than that, I feel like Kuwait, and Kuwaiti as well traveled, like they always find whoever is most new and cool and creative idea, they bring it to Kuwait. So Kuwait is always quite advanced.
What about French food? Why don't we have a bistro or a brasserie? Isa?
I think I have a different aspect of where does it come from. I think the differences between Kuwait and the Gulf region and anywhere else. Let's talk about, for example, Italy or US or London. When you go to these places that have tourism, why do you see a lot of cuisines? Because first of all, who is the behavior and target audience? How many religions do you have in London? A lot, yeah? How many different countries do you serve? A lot of people. Who does technically the purchase in London? Which age segment? So you have so much diversity. So you can walk in one street or two streets and you find different cuisine every single 10 meter. Here in the Gulf region, we serve 99%. How many religion? One. We serve how many behavior? One. We serve how many segment? One. You cannot have a lot of diversity because there's two ways. It's either you are controlled by the behavior of people, okay, and it's always now, Eric. So when you say the market is saturated, you can see it in two ways. You can either see it that the market saturated. I don't believe in that word at the end. When you believe there is a lot of burger places, for example. So if you do and you take a percentage of a small burger segment, you'll do so much money. So let's say we are all here gathering together, and we are all, let's say, from one behavior and one religion. In Kuwait, for example, if I say inside the Douanier, guys, let's have a vegan Vietnamese, how many would say yes? But if I want a burger or a shawarma, I will ask them, do you want meat or beef? I will not ask him if you want a shawarma. I will not ask him if you want a burger. This is saturation. But if I tell them, guys, let's try a new shawarma place or a new burger place, everyone will say yes. If I tell them, everybody, let's try a Vietnamese vegan, they said yes if you are paying. So saturation.
So no matter if it's missing, it won't work.
So no,
that's why it's
it's not about it won't work. It's about how you see it. Who are you? Are you an investor, a developer, or a manager, or a craftsman? We go back to what I'm saying. Yes? So if you are an amazing developer that have a mindset of a manager that can know how to invest, you can invest and take the risk of something which is not there, which is a Vietnamese vegan, and you invest so much in development and design to have the right position for everybody to come. But if you want to invest in something which is there, you need to be a super developer, you need to be an amazing manager and a shrewd investor to be within that saturation market. So both are right and both are wrong. So it depends on your skill set and what do you know best to understand which piece of the cake that you want. So I don't believe in saturation and I don't believe that there is nobody in the market. I can answer you that nobody, because nobody would want to take the risk of what to do.
Osama?
Yeah, so when you talk about saturation in some segments, you could say there is more shawarma restaurants than there is, for example, more pizza restaurants. So if you want to enter the shawarma sector, for example, if you're not offering something unique that you can beat the saturated competition, then what is really what are you trying to do in that competitive, saturated market, right? It only became saturated because you do not have a strategy, a proper strategy, a proper positioning to move you far away from the saturated competitive market. Different strategies could be implemented. Maybe it's a product-based strategy. Maybe it is pricing-based strategy. Maybe you want to make a five-star fancy Michelin star level shawarma restaurant, right? It depends on your strategy from the beginning and how you want to exclude yourself and get out of the saturated market.
I will give you an example about the shawarma, okay? So for example, everybody thinks that shawarma is based on mostly chicken. Technically, it started beef only. Okay? Best beef. And then when the Lebanese and Syrian came to Kuwait within the 60s or whatever, then it transferred into chicken. And stayed into the chicken phase till 2015 and 2010. Came back a bit the beef. So when you go always to a shawarma place, you see the chicken is big and the beef is small. The chicken is big and the beef is small. So the market was saturated not only in Kuwait, in all of the Gulf region. So you can compete in anything but not shawarma. Why? Because the beef was so expensive and it's more of a commodity and people don't want to pay more for it. Then came a shawarma place called the Hlayl in Saudi that focused on beef only and selling it 3 times the price of chicken, but they did it well. Then came Shakir, focused on the minority that focus on beef, that who don't take beef, and did it well. Now, till that day, beef shawarma is scaling up, taking a huge part of the chicken direction of a shawarma. And that was super saturated market. Especially also the burgers. You can speak about all the same. The trick is here. Anything that starts, always starts in a very low price. Not only in the food industry, in everything. So when you go to a new hotel or new airline, always how they captivate people by having a good price. Am I right? Even in aggregators, even in system, they come in what? That industry, they go into even inside the segment with a low price. Then the type of behavior of education and people getting smarter and smarter and older, they would take it into the premium section. Like the shawarma, like the burger. It started cheap, and then it goes what? Into a premium, till 15 years. Then comes the new generation, which has much more knowledge, that they can take the premium product that you have and go back into the price, into the lower range. And this takes 10 years. This is the behavior of food industry since the 60s. So it goes up every 10 to 15 years with a premium price. It depends on education. Then it goes down. So the shawarma, it went up to 1 kd, 700, 1 kd, and now it goes down. Good shawarma with 1 kd. Burgers, it went up to 6 and 7 and 8 kd up to 2016 and 17. Now you can get a premium burger with only 1 kd and a half and 2 kd.
Let's come back to the question about what is missing. Rakan, you chose the healthy food.
Yes.
Because you thought it was a market gap, or because you had the experience or the know-how about that, or you wanted...
First of all,
can you explain your strategy?
Sure. First of all, I believe what we are missing are several things. One of them is consistency in innovations. And here comes Forevermore. It comes to solve pain points of our customers. So the creativity behind Forevermore is how we generate our revenue stream. The meal subscription plans that are existed in the market, regionally, worldwide, are typical meal subscription in which you receive the cold box in the morning, including 3 meals with the snacks. And we see that there are 2 pain points with the customer in that category that we want to solve their problems. First of all, we name our meal subscription model a flexible subscription, flexible food, flexible delivery. Flexible subscription means when you pay, you will get the money as a credit in your wallet in the application, and you can order whenever you want, wherever you want. So if you do not spend money in any day, your credit will be there in your account forever. So Forevermore it's always there for you. When we talk about flexible deliveries, the pain point that we innovate to solve is we can deliver to multiple addresses. We can deliver within 45 minutes wherever you are. And all the orders are cooked freshly upon your order. And this was one of the main points. Most of the meal subscription plans, they do the fresh food before one night, and then they put it in a chiller or in the fridges, and then you have to reheat it when it reaches your home. What we have done is we create the meal from scratch for you in the same day, and we cook it upon request. Instant choice of the meals is another value proposition what we...
Yeah, and how came the idea? It was, you felt a gap in the market?
Yes,
or
first of all...
Or you saw it somewhere else and you wanted to bring it to Kuwait?
No, it didn't exist. So as Isa mentioned, if the market is exaggerated, full of very good brands, very good quality food and services, we have to come up with different idea to compete in that market. So what are the pain points? Usually the businesses or the successful businesses for the first year, they didn't continue because they come up with a very good quality product, but there is no value proposition. I feel that one of the things is freshly delicious food, healthy food is one of the pain points. Usually healthy food is not delicious most of the time.
Yeah.
So we have a very huge R&D and operational team that are working 24 hours every single day to come up with recipes. One of the values, we offer more than 100 recipes every single day for our customers to choose from. But when you go to order from the meal subscription, you have to schedule your order 3 days or 2 weeks in advance. And if that day you see a movie and you crave a pizza, you cannot change your mind. But with Forevermore, you can choose whether you want rice or shawarma or burger or whatever. Within 45 minutes, it comes to you fresh. We built our business model around the pain points that are missing in the market.
Great.
Allow me to just add on the previous
please.
question about the French cuisine.
Yeah.
I believe the influence of a cuisine is more than just having a restaurant in the country. يعني now Kuwaiti culture is influenced by the French cuisine by having a lot of chefs من الكوردون bleu. 10 years ago, when we want an R&D chef to develop some recipes for a business here in Kuwait, you have to fight to get the quality chef. But nowadays, you can see like tens or plus 100 chefs, they came from Cordon Bleu Paris or whatever else. So the French cuisine is the base of the good chef اللي احنا بنشوفهم باكر ممكن فيصل النشمي على a lot of ما شاء الله good chefs ما بأذكر أسماء وأنسى. These are the examples of how we are influenced by the French cuisine to assess a chef from scratch.
Yeah. To stay on French cuisine, we had a fantastic brasserie in Méridien that became JW Marriott. You don't have anymore any really French address. I mean, I'm trying to find any market gaps. Hashish, can you help me? What is missing in Kuwait? We'll come after to Kuwaiti food.
Not qualified to answer that, but I'll just put one framework to what Essa and what Rakan is saying. I think what I see in the markets is how Essa talked about saturation. I think the phenomena that I see is every country, every market, every city has a certain cuisine which is their staple, which will always feel saturated because there's going to be independent restaurants, there are going to be chains in that, there are going to be mid-market restaurants in that, and everybody in the market would want to have another shawarma restaurant, let's say. But I believe that, as an entrepreneur, I see restaurateurs only siding with one of the two. Either you are somebody who sides with a cuisine that already has demand. So that means you can just focus on your positioning, you can focus on your product, you can focus on your pricing, you can focus on figuring out what is it, why people should come to you for that shawarma. And demand is sorted. You don't need to educate people why should they eat shawarma. There is a lot of demand. You can just ride on it. And then there's other side, which is Marco doing Italian or maybe Vietnamese vegan. That sounded scary. If somebody does that, I think that's a side as an entrepreneur you are taking to develop the market. And I think my favorite strategy in that is to bring in more competitors yourself. If I had to do, let's say, a French restaurant in the city, I would ideally call 3 of my French restaurateurs and I'll say, hey, you know what? Let's open 4 different restaurants. Let's compete, but let's educate the city, educate the country, and let's have French cuisine as one of the things that people would want to try out and see what sticks to the wall.
Take any cuisine adapted to the behavior and the segment that you want, reach it with a certain financial goal, and you are successful. You don't need the approval of the market to be successful. You need to understand this. People see that the market needs to approve or you need to scale to be successful. No. You're successful is if you're reaching from point A to point B. If you want to do a restaurant, Vietnamese vegan, for example, and your business plan is to do 50 orders a day or 100 orders a day and you reach it, I don't care about the market. What does it need? I'm reaching my goal within the next 3 years to return as a return on investment. So it depends on your goal. Did you build the business to scale? Did you build the business to make a lot of money? So it depends all. It starts with financials and ends with financials. Come do a strategy with a business plan. I want to open a Korean restaurant that does 5,000 KD a day. It's different when you say I want to open a Korean restaurant that does 500 KD a day. 2 different cases. You can make both work. It depends again on your skill set of what do you need. So I believe that in each country, I can go now, if you think that cuisine, I can go to France and say the same thing. There isn't any cuisine in France. We have more cuisines than in Paris. For if you come focus on, we can go to any country and come and tell you this country doesn't have X, Y, Z cuisine.
Yeah.
So it depends on the country and it depends on the behavior.
I'm gonna corner you
Yes.
on that.
Yeah, lazim.
So you said Kuwait is a capital, food capital. You talked about the casual market, the elevated, fast casual market. You said we are a homegrown country. We do develop concepts. People are very receptive and like it. What about Kuwaiti food? Why don't we have enough Kuwaiti food? We have Dar Hamad. We have like very few restaurants. Why don't we have a chef that I will ask the same question tomorrow in front of them, but I'd like to have your opinion. Why don't we have a Kuwaiti food restaurant?
Authenticity never works, in my opinion, when it comes to scalability and restaurants. And it depends on the Kuwaiti food itself. We are more in the Gulf region, more of tribals, you know, and the local food technically is where we eat at home with a certain cost. Okay? I can come and tell you the same thing. In Italian, if you do an amazing fresh pasta, and the technique of a fresh pasta in the house is much more scarier of doing it in a restaurant, because it requires a lot of technique, a lot of X. So if you want to do your own tomato sauce within the house, you will not focus on how much would it cost and how can you scale it. You can do it for 2 to 3 dishes, but you cannot do it for 500 dishes. So we can argue the same thing, but when it comes to local concept, it's very hard within our region to develop a local Arabic concept unless if it's behavior on tourist base. You cannot compete with every single house.
Yeah.
So you can never compete with every single house, ever. This is my
I think I'll add one thing to that. I think for a cuisine of any nationality to really prosper globally or like largely in a geographic region, I think it's also a function of how many people of that region are really settling outside in what numbers, right? So, and I don't know if it's politically correct to say that or not, but it's also about how many people got displaced, from their existing country, right? So if you see, Mexican food reached the world because Mexicans, work in the U.S. and then Americans, took it to the world. European cuisine, reached places because Europeans, were traveling. And same goes for Lebanese cuisine in the region.
Indian,
Why? Because
Persian,
they came out, right? So you I mean it's more a function of that than a function of liking or authenticity or technique.
Okay. Fair enough.
Ashish, sorry, 1 second. I'm Italian, but if in Milan you serve a nice chicken majboos, as Italian, I believe that myself and all my friends and family, we would love to eat it. It's a difference. One day you eat Indian, one day you eat Japanese, one day you eat
So Marco
pasta.
is opening Kuwaiti restaurant. That's
For
the
me,
next
for
one.
me, I honestly believe a nice majboos diai or laham or murbian.
I was just in Florence.
I think it's going to be amazing even in Italy. Come on, Italian eat Indian food.
Yes.
What this can be so
exactly.
different?
So I went to Florence and I went to the Indian restaurant twice in 2 days.
Imagine you
Fully
miss
Italian.
Ash that
Fully
time.
yes, of course, because this is what do we believe in. So I think Ash is right in terms of it depends on the culture. Of course, guys, we can talk about one restaurant that's focused, but when you talk about industry, it's hard. So when you come and take, yes, we have one. So let's say even in Florida, there is one Persian restaurant called Tehran, which is always full because it's one. But you cannot open a full industry within different.
Restaurateurs, they don't want always to scale it. I mean, they can just have one restaurant.
No, not scaling. I mean,
You can have one in Paris, one in Milan,
yes,
one in New York.
Yes, exactly. But when we talk about, you cannot go to a certain country, for example, and focus without having a lot of. So London, why now they have a lot of Arabic food? Because a lot of Gulf region are there. But back in 20 or 30 years, you have a shawarma because the Lebanese and the Syrian were there from the 60s, the 70s. It's the same thing. So it's always depends on the behavior. Always depends on who's living there. This is what do I believe in.
Rakan?
I believe one of the missing things is a good media exposure of the local concepts such as Dar Hamid, Midar, Mahyouf. Now, when we see Mahyouf, one of the latest brand in Kuwait, it is developed from Dar Hamid level and making it a premium casual, not like a fine dine restaurant. So I believe it is coming. But the barriers of entry in this field is higher than the other fields of American cuisine or whatever other cuisines because of the procedures of making the Kuwaiti food take longer time than the regular food in different countries. So when we talk operations here, it requires more investment, more labor, and more time to produce the quality that you can have in Kuwaiti house.
And you have a price range.
But now, yes,
on the margins. It's
yes,
very hard to price.
yes, and now this is the area of innovation that we request our chefs to dive into that any type of R&D to develop these type of concepts.
So innovation. Let's talk about the food tech. Is the dine-in experience fading? Are we still, because all of you here, gentlemen, you besides Marco and maybe Isa on 1 or 5% of all his ventures, I mean, you are all on a food tech application, aggregators, etc., etc. So is it dying? Is it fading, the experience of a restaurant?
So, is it dying? No, actually, in the
And in Kuwait,
yeah, we're talking about in
particularly.
Kuwait, right? So, if we're talking about in Kuwait, just recently, lots of dine-in restaurants were opening. Casual dine-in, high-end dine-in. So, no, it's not dying. Definitely not. Depending on how you look at it. How does tech support the dine-in restaurants? It's by supporting them with bookings if they're luxury, let's say high-end casual. If they are a fast, let's say the casual dine-in will need, for example, solutions that focuses more on customer experience, maybe digital menus, maybe loyalty, targeted, personalized content that you can use for your marketing, right? There are many ways that food tech can help the dine-in sector. But to answer it in short, it's not dying. No, it's not. And using technology to support the growth of dine-in is the proper way to maintain and grow your dine-in restaurants.
Ashish?
I don't think, yeah, I agree. And I think dine-in is far from dying. I think what has happened definitely is that, food tech players, let's say aggregators, marketplaces, the ease of getting your favorite food delivered to you, freshly cooked in 45 minutes wherever you are, has definitely put pressure on any dine-in restaurant, casual, fast casual, premium, to deliver great experience. Now you need, as a restaurateur, as a brand, you need to definitely, give more reasons to people to walk in, to get out of their comfort zone and walk into your restaurant, sit down and have that meal. So in case their experience is not really, the delta in the experience of they experiencing your food at home, at office versus at your restaurant, if the delta in experience is not high, it's going to be tough. So I think it's just putting more pressure on the experience part. But I also see that it is increasing the number of transactions. So
the food tech created a new market?
100%, because now, earlier your patrons are now ordering, your food is accessible to them much more. And now, they may be ordering their favorite dish or favorite thing, which earlier they used to wait for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks before they'll gather friends or family and make a plan to go to your restaurant. Now they can actually just have one dish for themselves. So it is increasing the number of transactions. It is increasing accessibility. It is coming at a much lower margin, so you can't really make great money out of it. But I think, it is only promoting dine-in because there are more reasons for people to come in and experience more if they like your food.
Aisa, you have more than 130 black kitchen in Saudi. So restaurants are, I mean, useless.
I don't know.
You don't need.
I don't believe.
A cloud kitchen is enough.
No, I don't believe that the dining is dying at all. I believe the other way around. Again, it depends on your goal. What's your
Trying to.
it depends on your financial goal. Again, to me, in my opinion, personally, it depends. Are you talking about scalability or what exactly? So we need to first. There is a general question and there is specific type of question. Any market that has a general market and specific market. Am I right? The general market, yes, the transaction of the aggregator is going up, but the specific market in terms of segment, it's going down. So the general is going up, but the segments are going down. So for example, all of us here, for example, let's say 50, we order from the 1 month from the aggregator, let's say 100 times, all of us. In the next 6 months, okay, these 50 will have a more behavior, ordering not 100 times, 150 times, yes? But in the beginning, it was distributed on 100 restaurants. After 6 months, it's distributing on 300 restaurants. Because the barrier of entry is very easy, yes? So yes, the general, we as all people 50 ordered 50% more within the 6 months, but it's distributed into 300% more growth into the restaurant. So that is the general market, yes. And the specific market, it's a big no. So you need to innovate more. You need to do more marketing in order to captivate and to stay within, not to increase sale unless you're scale. So when it's dine-in, it's a safer environment to make money. Dine-in is an experience. It's a safer environment. It's technically more, let's say, much less risky. You have the cash every single day. It's much better than experience, okay? And the barrier of entry is hard. So if you come talk about in terms of investment, if it's scalability, kitchens is the right way. And fast casual is the right way. Delivery technically is a format, it's not a concept. So technically the future is a fast casual business that focuses on the format of the delivery, okay? To have more as an investor, more money or more scalability and more cash flow. But when you talk about a specific market, the dine-in market technically is the future in my opinion. Scalability is for the kitchen, the future in terms of innovation, and plus that if you want more innovation and more development, it comes from the dine-in and casual. It never comes from the delivery.
One thing that I would like to add is that, you know, we see thousands of restaurants in 50 countries, and I can tell you that one thing that is common across countries, it doesn't matter which, is that, you know, you cannot, from unit economics perspective, you cannot make money by operating only cloud kitchens. You may still make money operating only dine-in at a unit level if you're doing well. But I think hybrid, the combination is actually, you know, the game. So for restaurateurs who don't have a delivery strategy, I think life is going to be tough. But at the same time, if you don't have a dine-in margin, I don't think, you know, the bigger picture will make sense.
And that, sorry, just before the Rakan, and that's what I believe what F&B is all about. If you are in the F&B business, you have to be in at least 2 to 3 segments within the company. If you are in a one segment, you are technically not in the general F&B. You are in a one unit type of business. So you are scalable in one unit. When you have different F&B segment, you might have more cost, you might have less profit margin, but you have an amazing team that can catch a curveball. So F&B, in my opinion, if you are in the F&B, you need to have more than 2 segments or more than 1 segment at least in your company.
So complementing.
Yes.
Rakan. Naji, answering your question, I don't think it is dying. Actually, I believe it is growing. When it comes to the dining experiences in Kuwait, when we see there are new innovations in creating experiences by the sea, like Melanzani by the sea, John by Gastronomica, we found out that the ticket size are much more regular invoices, plus yet people are going there. And several experiences by Thiqa, Udashi, the several places now, they come up with totally different high-end experiences, fine dining, and they are growing right now. They are developing the regular fine dine scene. Instead of just having a very good quality food sitting in a very good place, now you have the additional let's say, entertainment aspects of that experience. So I believe it is growing. And when we talk about the growth of the food tech and innovation in tech, it doesn't influence that much. When we see the practices in the United States, we see a very good practices that happen. Hello Fresh, Blue Apron. These are replacing the meals that we are doing in home. It is growing within the food tech industry, but it is not replacing only the fine dine or the dine-in experiences, but also how many meals you are eating in your home. Instead of having 20 meals per week, 40 meals per week, you are reducing your home meals into that type of experiences. So I believe this is a new verticals in the businesses which led to the growth of the food tech.
Marco, you are a restaurateur. Have you thought about aggregators, delivery, sending your food, or you just like, we need to eat the pasta in your place and that's it?
Earlier, when I first started, that was my opinion. Like, I wouldn't deliver anything. But I agree what Issa he said earlier. You and also Ashish, like it's like you need to get at least to segment to be in the right track, as well as because for me the restaurant is there and the kitchen is there and the stuff is there and the food is there. So we accept the fact that, of course, food in delivery, you know, as me as Italian, I don't really appreciate it. I think I don't normally order food in delivery, never. Not from a restaurant, not from any other restaurant.
It's like eating pasta with
ketchup.
Me,
yeah, but especially because for me, eating, I love eating, and I take it like it's one of the most beautiful parts of my day. So I respect the time I invest for take my food. So I like to sit on the table and have any meal, but hot and serve in a proper way and with a good company. And for me, this is extremely important. So I'm not personally a customer of any delivery, no. But business-wise, of course, as a restaurant, we had to start the delivery as well, to fill up, you know, to get that extra.
To answer the market.
Yes, of course.
Osama, what is the innovation today in food tech? What are the, I mean, what should we see in the 2 to 3 years to come? Is the chef job still, I mean, with the AI, can we replace the chef and create recipes with AI, or do we still need this job? What are the innovations that you see or what you're working on in your company?
So will AI replace chefs? That is maybe one day, but not anytime soon. It is very difficult to replace a chef. I don't think it will happen very easily. How does AI change or support the restaurant industry? I said support, not change, because the restaurant industry is always growing. Even before tech, restaurant industry is strong. Tech only helped speed up growth, speed up scalability. It gave you easier and faster ways to look at the health of your restaurant, to manage...
From the owner side and from the customer side, from both sides?
From the owner side, most likely, and then we were going to talk about how does technology also support the end customer.
Okay.
So from the owner's side, restaurant owners are able to grow faster ever than before using technology. They can have an access to their data, what is the most selling item, more efficiently than manual work. They are even able to reduce their cost more efficiently, manage their inventory more efficiently, and optimize their wastage. On the customer side of things, you get loyalty points, you get different experiences, whether it is in delivery or dine-in. Who would have ever thought that not long ago, when you used to order from restaurants, you had to do it by phone, right? And you had to wait on the line for 5, 6, 7 minutes, and explain where you're living exactly. For them, they might even tell you your old address or someone else's address by mistake, right? This is not so long ago. Right now, you just order from an app, and it comes to you in 15 minutes. This is how the customer experience changed the delivery sector. We can talk also about other examples. In dine-in, because through technology, I could be sitting in a restaurant right now, and that technology is being used in another restaurant. So because I ate at this restaurant and I said that I do not want, for example, I'm sensitive, I have allergy to garlic, for example. If I go to that other restaurant will know that I'm allergic to garlic because we are using the same technology, right? This is through technology that's being offered today. We have that today. And this is how we enhance customer experiences. We increase retention. Customers came back to order again from that same restaurant. Mainly, of course, I'm not saying it's just because of tech. I mean, there is a lot of investments and efforts that needs to be done by the restaurant owner too, but tech does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So you can focus on innovating, focus on your strategy, focus on your goals, focus on delivering good quality food and experience through technology. Let technology help you with that. AI, you could have AI to support you in forecasting sales. We have that technology today. You have AI today that tells you, you could type in through one of the solutions that exist today, just type in a question, hey, what is my most selling item? And it will pop up on your dashboard or on your console telling you what is your best selling and what you should focus on. You could even, the AI could understand where is your highest profit margin items and actually give you advices on how to sell them more efficiently. These technology is offered today. How will it change the next coming years? It's consistently evolving. So we never know the limit for now, right? We will always be innovating through listening to restaurant owners. I'm talking as someone who is in food tech. The only way I grow is if I listen to restaurant owners and to customers on how they would want to operate better and easier. And I offer them these solutions.
Thank you. Ashish, sorry, Isa.
Because I want to just elaborate on what he said. AI can replace process, not chefs, in a way. So we are creating a technology because of the scalability that we have in Saudi with the company I work with over there, that we are building a machine in terms of when the order comes from the aggregator, technically, we have the breast of the chicken already in the freezer. It goes up to from the freezer into the fryer and up to automatically. It's all through AI, which we're already building. So yes, it can replace process, and the casual dine-in never, and the premium dine-in never. It's going to be not never, very, very hard. So the AI can help you, and the technology can help you in scalability. Because when you say scalability, it's more of a commercial, means less process, means industrial business. Then you transfer from an F&B business into an industrial F&B business. And then from the food technology, from the investment perspective, because I will tell you, the IT, the technology is all about finding a solution. Am I right? So in Saudi, we had around in that company we do around 30,000 orders a day, okay, and all of the kitchens. So we have a huge rate of mistakes within the aggregators. So it comes for millions of riyals a year. So how can we save that? So we went to Mexico and we bought and invested in a food technology back-to-end system. It's called Foodology. Okay, we built it from scratch. So what do we do now? We just wanted to build this system to fix that solution of who is right, the aggregator or us. So now when your order is late and you call Talabat or you call Jahiz and you say it's late, who takes care? Who the charge goes to who? Do you know?
No.
It goes to the restaurant. When he's late, not picking up, it goes to who? It goes to the restaurant. In Kuwait, even there is a margin of 20% mistakes that Talabat or any other of the aggregators come and tell you, this money, we will not give it to you, it was a bad order. How do you know if it's a bad order? How can you authenticate? We made technology authenticate. So now our system goes into exactly when is the order is ready through AI camera. So the process of the order. So let's say Talabat or Jahaz came to me, said this order is bad order. I put the number of the order. Automatically the AI shows me the process of when it was cooked, when it was done on the dispatch, and the AI takes picture of the dispatch order, because sometimes 90% it's missing order, yes? So when you call Talabat, you sell them missing order, they will tell, we'll compensate you with the order amount, yes? And they charge it on us. We have a picture of that order exactly being delivered to the driver by the time. So this is where it depends on from an investment part. Technology is not about what service out there, is you as a business owner going to the technology people and tell them, what do you want to fix? And they build it for you. So we have that, for example, system. We build it from scratch to fix a problem that we have.
Ashish, how do you foresee the future?
I think I think Esa and Osama made some really, really good points. I think the only addition to that will be, the way we look at Restoworks, the way we look at our job or our role in this play is that at large, restaurant business is actually looking for velocity as this new demand is coming through various channels where people can access your food, they can order your food. Back in the days, when Osama was talking about that, not long ago, you were calling the restaurant and you were, waiting on the line for 5-7 minutes. I'll tell you, point one phenomena that was there, which was not acknowledged enough, which is the number of orders that could get into the restaurant were limited by the number of people who can take the calls. So in a way, kitchens were not that insane. Today...
Same for booking.
Correct, right? So the point is that technology just, accelerated how you can place the order, where technically you don't need permission from the restaurant side to accept the order or not, right? They can, of course, go off the aggregator. They can switch off the restaurant for an hour, and that has put a lot of pressure on kitchens to be efficient. It has put a lot of pressure on restaurant business to be, really delivering what they promised in time. And this is where retail and restaurant are really, really different markets. So the way we look at our job is, some of it what Esa said. I think technology is an enabler in the process. Can we bring in efficiency at both dimensions, right? One, can we accelerate some of the processes which are just getting delayed by the human intervention? And two, can we bring in sanity to the data where, we should know where our restaurant's bleeding? I can tell you that bottom line efficiency is not something, and I've been a restaurateur myself, some 14 years back. Bottom line was not something that restaurateurs used to look at because we used to enjoy, great gross margins. Over the last few years, they have dipped to the point that I can tell you that there are restaurants who, if scale faster, they will die faster because they don't have control of their bottom line. So that's where job of technology comes in, where you need to figure out and help operators understand where is that, dollar, where is that penny, going at each point. And if you can do that, then you're good. On AI, my only comment will be that AI is more like it's a very fundamental tech. It's like saying electric car versus, a petrol car. It doesn't change the speed or your destination. So it's very, very fundamental. I think technology people are advertising it more than they're using. So it is going to evolve, but it is only going to evolve to bring in efficiency. Otherwise, it's going to be just a big cost and vanity. Nobody cares.
Okay, unfortunately, our time is over, but I will let each of you talk about a new project you are now working on, and then we will see if we have some questions. Rakan, how is 2025 looking?
2025, it's all about creating new verticals, new revenue streams, and then cost optimization projects within the company to make it a healthy, sustainable growth. So one of the projects that we're considering right now is creating a physical experience, which is dining experience, by providing a very delicious, healthy food.
يا ريت قلت لنا هيك. Dine in better than
Inshallah, we are still not looking to start very soon, but we're looking to start very well.
So
يعني
you need a dine-in experience.
I think yes, because there are some practices here in Kuwait وبرا who are very successful in delivering a very clean food, healthy food, but delicious at the same time. And I think this is one of the pain points that we're trying to fix for the time being. Inshallah, it is coming. Going back to the question of AI will replace chefs, I don't think so, because of النفس. Technology they cannot replace النفس. Even the same chef don't cook the same level of quality several days. Sometimes he's happy mood, sometimes he's negative mood. فالنفس I believe ما أدري شلون technology will play a role in that.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck, Lakin. Osama, any new projects?
Oh, first of all, I would like to thank you, Naji, and also sitting with pioneers like Rakan, Aisa, Marco, and Ashish. The new projects that we're working on FoodX right now is we're going to leverage more on AI, right? So definitely we can see gaps in optimizing and making things more efficient through AI. So this is something we're focusing on. In Kuwait, we are launching, actually we just launched today, my FoodX team is here. We just launched the integration of the payment terminal, the payment device, to the cashier system. So if you are punching an order, for example, that cost 3 KD, just because it costs 3 KD on the checkout page, it will show directly to the terminal with that exact number, and once you settle the payment, it will close on the cashier as it was. This will help restaurant owners in speed of transactions. It will also help customer experience. And at the end of the day, restaurants usually they do something that's called reconciliation, where they match the KNET or the transactions through the reports. This is already going to be done automatically. So this is live today, and we're looking forward to see how restaurant owners will utilize this newly launched feature.
Mabruk.
This is already, of course, existing already, but none on an iPad based.
Aisa,
The first FoodX client were us in Saudi, FYI.
really?
Yeah. So from our as a prep line, managing one of the companies in Saudi, which is within the
قرب المايك.
one of the projects that we have in Saudi, working along with the Trophy Fund, we are building more of these kitchens that we've talked about in terms of cloud. We are planning into building cluster in A, B, C cities, around reaching 250 kitchen within the next 3 to 4 years. We are already halfway there from an investment perspective, and it's all about building the strategy of 4 different cluster within the kitchen. So we have the American cluster, Middle Eastern, Asian, and dessert, and all of them combined between the healthy. So we build in each cluster 30 to 50 brands in each cluster. It depends on how big is the kitchen is. So certain kitchens takes in each cluster, let's say 5 brands up to 30 brands. So this is where to reach our target in Saudi Arabia. Here in Kuwait, we have scaled down our business big time from Corona, the losses of Corona, to be honest. We've just the past 1 month, we closed 70% of the debt of Corona. So we are still into that element. We still own 4 different kitchens, 1 big restaurant. I'm gonna continue investing in the upper casual business in Kuwait. We are opening 1 by end of this year. And hopefully each year we're going to open 1 upper casual restaurant and continue diverting into the other segment by opening more brands within the cloud kitchen and the segment of the cafe and the specialty coffee.
How is Chewy Gooey?
It's still good. Next May is 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Marco, any new project? Besides the Kuwaiti food restaurant, of course.
No. First of all, thank you for. I'm very proud of being here, sitting in between you guys. That I am more of a a passionate passionate guy for hospitality, and my plan for 2025, there is a big dream I've been working on since the past 3 years and a half that seems like coming true, and actually is in construction. And I can't wait to be in this new restaurant and cooking and serving and smiling
what
and
kind of food?
chit-chatting with everybody. Like,
What-
this is what I love to do.
It's Italian?
It's going to be Italian, of course, because that's what I know how to do. And I believe I will have to give it some Middle Eastern and Mediterranean touches, given my experience here, my journey in Middle East.
So you will let us know.
Yeah,
Maybe
of
next
course.
year you come and tell us about it.
This is going to be, yes, of course. Hopefully you will visit it as well.
Thank you, Marco.
Grazie mille.
Ashish, any new
Thank you.
projects?
Yeah, I think I think I'm really excited for the region. I will not only say, only Kuwait, overall in the Middle East. I think for us, 2023 and 24 were really exciting. We, ended up working with, some of the partners which are like gold standard in their, operations and volumes. We now power Al Baik in the entire region. We power Caribou Coffee in the entire region. And it actually started with Kuwait in case of Caribou. So, and then we power the entire, end-to-end of the platform. So for us, the most exciting part that we are working on is, just making the platform wider and deeper. So when, a restaurant brand, works with RestroWorks, they don't need, anybody else, but we take care of end-to-end of their operations. I think what I'm most excited about outside of Kuwait, but in the region, is NEOM. So, we recently won the project at NEOM, and we also deployed our first site at NEOM. It's a food court it's a food hall which has 14 cuisines and sits 10,000 people across.
Opening this year?
No, already live. They went live on
in
5th of
NEOM.
December at NEOM. And it was quite surprising for me. I haven't visited yet. My team has been visiting. So in all honesty, I used to think that it's some mythical thing happening, and I don't know if, on ground what's happening at NEOM. So I think for us, it's really exciting because we are watching that happening live. 10,000 people are dining in a single food hall across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think what region is going through as a whole, and my ears, on this panel, I heard all the tournaments and all the, events that government is planning in Kuwait. So I think I'm just happy. My next project or excitement happened mostly on this panel. I'm just grateful for this opportunity as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Do we have any question in the public? No questions. Jumana, question? Okay, thank you. Sorry. Micro? Picture, okay. Thank you, gentlemen.